Thank you so much. So, Olu, let me see.
Hello, sir. I
Could have
cannot hear you,
heard
sir.
you.
Now, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to confirm if you're done.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm done, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Powerful prayer session. Let's just give her a round of applause. Thank you so much, Sister Olu Yemisi, for taking us so powerfully in that session, that prayer session. Actually, there's some things that I felt it was very revelatory, and I'll just be able to communicate this even as I welcome each and every person to the business review. I just want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every person to this program. This is an interesting program. This is such an enlightening program. Actually, this is the first time that we are doing the business review in the year. Can you imagine? So this is the first program, the first business review program that we're having. That you're having today. So I just had a revelation. Even as I was preparing for the business review, and I feel like it's very pivotal for me to be able to relay this before I introduce the panelists and also the businesses that we're going to review. This being the first, I felt this scripture come to mind in the book of Exodus chapter 12 verse 2. It says, "This month is to be for you the first month of your year." This month is to be for you the first month of your year. And this basically, since this program is the first program of the year, then that means that there are so many things that God would want us to be able to receive. It being the first, program at this point, then there's a need that God would want us to be enlightened, because God has already prepared a feast. He's already prepared various forms of solutions, even to our businesses. Even when one business is being reviewed, there are things that you'll be able to pick that echoes and resonates, and you're able to now implement it in your business. And this means, most of the time we, and especially for business reviews, at times we tend to look at the business review and you feel like, yeah, it's that person that his business is being reviewed. But on the other hand, what I like about business reviews is that it helps us to be able to begin to pause and to be able to begin to now, just understand, what's happening in that particular market, and how are we able to also tap into the solutions that are being given pertaining to that market, or even pertaining to the general trend or the general pattern or operations of the business. So this is whereby when it says this month is to be for you the first month, the first month of your year, then that means that there's something new. Because when it's starting when you're starting the month, we always, we start on the first, meaning that it's a new month. And whenever we have a new month, the one of the wishes that we normally have is a happy new month. When we even enter into a new week, we start the first day of the week, we normally say happy new week. And there's something in that element of newness, and the element of newness will literally carry a new beginning. It will also carry the element of the latter being greater than the former. It will even carry the element of God crowning abundance. And it's interesting that whenever we say that God is doing a new thing and he's telling us to perceive it, this new thing can come in the realm of a business review. It can come in the realm of direction. It can come in the realm of you now beginning to ensure that you are able to receive a particular strategy that you are able to implement and execute, and you're able to see the fruitfulness in your business. So I like what when Sister Oluyemisi was praying. There's one prayer point that really caught my heart, and it's the prayer point of "Let there be light." it being the first day of the fast program, I'm decreeing and declaring that you shall get an enlightenment, that you shall receive light. I decree and I declare that you shall have a light bulb moment, that you are able to listen and you're able to, pause and begin to reflect. How can that also be used in the realm of my business? So that's the thing that God is giving. He's giving on the first day, he's giving vision, because when he created the universe, on the first day, he said, let there be light. Let there be light. There was a vision. There was a plan. There was, an innovation, So that is what I see, even on this particular business review, that you will be enlightened and you will be able to tap into what God has set out for you. And what I normally like about God is that there are times God will be able to give a level of anointing or a level of a word, and it is packaged in a way that you are not expecting. So this business review has been packaged in a way that you are able to tap into what the Lord is saying. So when you are beginning to listen to that business review, you will be able to understand that that thing echoes, that solution or something that the panelist has said, it also echoes in my business, and I have to use, and it can be a form of confirmation. So normally I don't take it for granted whenever whenever there are these types of program, because God can speak in different ways. It can even in such a program. So I can't limit God that it can only be in sermons or conventional teachings or systems that we have been accustomed to. It can be also in this. And what I like about Faith and Works is that Faith and Works is beginning to redefine, and especially in the marketplace, because these type of discussions are not so much prevalent in the church. And what I like about Faith and Works is that it begins to even give out a solution, and the solution is so spirit-led. These are areas whereby a lot of Christians are not, especially in the church, they haven't really penetrated this particular dimension of business. How are you able to do Faith and Works? How are you able to implement particular strategies, in the marketplace, and using a biblical approach? Because you'd find particular churches that would be referencing a system that tends to be debatable. Let me just say that, debatable, and not even in reference to the word. So I just want you to be able to reflect that your encounter can come in, or your enlightenment can come in such type of a business review. I have grown personally when it comes to this particular program, even when it comes to my business, even when it comes to just various forms of advice that I have received. Yes, I'm there giving advice, but I'm also learning as well. So I just wanted to give out that, church. And in this regard, I just want to just confirm, based on our panelists, if they are all present. I would want to start by mentioning, I'll just start from the left. I just want to confirm. Okay. I think Minister Yemi will be with us shortly. I'm just seeing Minister Titi as well. She'll also be with us as well shortly. I just want to confirm Minister Alexi, if Minister Alexi is here. Okay. Okay, I'm just seeing that Minister Alexi is. Yeah, Minister Alexi, are you here? I just wanted to confirm. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. But I think you unmuting indicates that you are present. I just also want to confirm if Minister Emmy is also available. Minister Emmy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. Okay. I just want to also just confirm we have two business reviews that we need to assess today. And first and foremost, I just want to compliment and I just want to thank them, for just taking this opportunity to be able to just present their businesses. We don't take this for granted. So I just want to start with the first one. This would be Brother Odunayo from Resh Solutions. I hope, I just want to confirm if you're there.
Yes, I'm here, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. And then I just also want to confirm the founder of Brainbox, whether he is available. Let me just check here. Okay, sorry. Oh, sorry. Odunayo is Brother Odunayo is the founder of Brainbox Academy. I just wanted to confirm Ayodeji from Resh Solution if he is available.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Actually, I was gonna get a tongue twister with that word, Resh. So yeah, you see, because the Resh Solutions, so Resh Solutions Global. So thank you so much. I'll start with Resh Solutions, then now we can proceed to Brainbox. I just want us to, if you're able to unmute, and also for Sister Joy, if you can also present his website for Resh. Let me just say Resh. Oh my, I'm sorry, it's such a tongue twister. Resh. Let me just say Resh. Resh company. So if you're able to just present. Present his website, the company's website, so that everyone is able to understand what the business normally deals with. So over to you, sir. You are able to just tell us what the company entails, what it does. You can just proceed to explain to us.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. So my name is Oluwakayode Ayodeji, and apologies for the tongue twisting pronunciation. So it's Resh Solution Global Services. So basically, Resh Solution Global Services is a business consulting firm where we carry out several activities. It's actually divided into two. There's a business service. There's business support services, and there's also the diaspora services. Let me talk about the business, the first part of it, which is basically. Apologies for the background noise. There's kid everywhere in the house. So there's a training and talent development, recruitment and talent solutions. Okay, basically, I don't think there's any need to go through all that, but the list is on the website. Then there's the global services, diaspora services, which cater for Nigeria and abroad. Basically, the idea is to provide solution for Nigerians that are traveled out and have made a lot of money, and they want to do maybe build a house, start a business, or they want to start a business over there, and they need materials, they need or whatever. Like if they need any services here, it could be registration, documentation, compliance, or whatever they need to do here. We are positioning ourselves to offer them those kind of services. It's all listed in the website. So I think that basically summarizes what we do. And yes, I'm open for questions. I think the next question will help me to explain more about what we do. Yes, and we do trainings. Currently, we are writing proposals for training on cybersecurity, train companies on cybersecurities, and also We are trying to pitch a training, an innovative training to Money Point. Okay, so that's it for now. So that uh, I don't know if anybody can hear me. I didn't. Well, my network can be
Yes,
funny
sir.
at times. All right. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes. Okay, so thank you. So what I'm understanding, and just to help people understand what you are actually doing, you are in the space of giving strategies, executing, and making impact. That's what you're doing in a nutshell. Just to have an understanding.
Yes.
Okay. And then what I'm also getting is that you offer two services, but there are two. Okay. So the services actually are divided into two. So you have the diaspora services and you also have the business services. So the business services entails business consulting, training development, project management. And then the diaspora, to what I understand, is it's basically more operational. It feels like you tend to help. It's like you guide people either who want to establish businesses in Nigeria, I presume, or even just helping them to be able to understand the process of establishing businesses. I mean, what it entails. So that is what you do, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I think even for the diaspora, I think it also has, you also help them in regard to getting particular products, like just your negotiations and things like that you are helping them to also source out those particular products, and also you're negotiating on behalf of them.
Yes, and also if they have like maybe they would like to go into real estate, building, land buying, we might not do all that for them, but we might just help them supervise. There's been cases of people that send money home and things never get done. So we can supervise or make sure that the person that is doing that is doing what is supposed to do. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I would want to just ask, and this would literally help the panelists, because I just wanted to ask, like, what's basically the vision of the business?
Okay. So the vision of the business um is to provide services, is to position ourselves to provide services um so basically to provide services and to provide innovative way of doing something better, especially in business and in business and or services, is to ensure that things are better done. So personally, I always find a better way to do things, cut costs operationally, and how things work effectively and efficiently. So um, that is basically what we do.
Okay, so I'm getting your vision is basically in helping. I mean, sorry, just there's a section that you said about innovation, and also just coming up with systems. I think I got something in that area based on your vision.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the questions that I would also want to ask, I see your business really does a lot of, I mean, it's really rendering a lot of services. There are multiple services that you're rendering, even as much as the business has been categorized in rendering two major services, but there are also other sub-services under those two major services. I just want to ask, like, which of these services generate the highest revenue, and which one has the greatest long-term growth potential?
Okay. Sorry. And currently having an issue with my network where your voice is going on and off, like buffering. I don't know if I was it's my network, so please you might have to help me repeat the question again. I missed that part.
Okay. Okay. So are you able to hear me now clearly? Is it buffering at your end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it just
So
goes. So sometimes just go off like 3 seconds, then comes back on, and I mean it's been doing that since the beginning. And if I restart my phone, it might disrupt a whole lot. So just please, just can just repeat the question so that I'll be able to answer. Yeah.
okay. So my question was, your business is currently serving serving various forms of it's rendering various forms of services. And I just wanted to ask, based on those services, which of those services like currently generates the highest revenue? Like which one is the one that is always at the front? As much as you're rendering all these services, yes. And which one also has the greatest long-term potential of growth?
Okay. Thank you very much. Sincerely, the business is very new. I mean, like very, very, very new. I just registered it in December, and I just finished this website like 2 weeks ago. So I've not done any business right now. But the part we are currently pushing out is the training for companies, and for the one that has a potential for long term. I think I'll put my money on global the diaspora services. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the diaspora services, like you're looking at it, it has such great potential compared to the other services that you're doing.
Sorry, I missed what you said. Can you? I'm sorry. Please, apologies. Please,
No.
can you repeat that
It's
again?
okay.
Please,
So
can you
to my
repeat what you said
understanding,
again?
yeah, to my understanding, you have told me that the diaspora services are the ones that are literally at the forefront, as much as your business is currently new.
Um, Sorry, I missed a part of what you said. Can you? I'm really sorry. Can you
No,
repeat?
it's okay. So what I'm saying is, you have stated that the diaspora services are the one that has a long-term growth potential. Is the one that
Yes.
yes, okay. So that's what I just wanted to just paraphrase. Then I just want to just understand before I pass this to the panelists. I just also want to understand what was the what was the what was the passion of, what made you come up with the name Resh Solutions?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, what was the
Um,
drive?
okay. Yeah. So, um, I so like this is the I was looking for a name that is related to light in and most what I've been taking when I was doing name search on CAC. So, but I need something unique. So I came across. So Resh basically is an Aramaic word. Also has an Hebrew. It's an Aramaic and also Hebrew, which basically means wisdom or ed or first or innovation or innovation. Yeah, some wisdom, innovation. Not it means light in terms of wisdom. Yeah, so it's basically an Aramaic and Hebrew word. Yes, that is what Resh means. And yes, I always wanted to be in consulting. Though I don't have, okay, so let me also add this. I don't really have much experience in terms of things. Yeah, so I registered this business because I have an idea that I want to push to that I want to pitch to a company. And initially I had a business, just a business name, and I feel that it won't be okay to pitch the idea on that. So that's why I had to register Resh. And yeah, so that's what gave birth to Resh. Then also I have been meeting a lot with a lot of I'm on Y Combinator. I've been there for a long time, and I've been fortunate to meet with a lot of innovate potential startups that want to extend to Nigeria. and to extend to Nigeria. And most of the time I relate with them. They are interested. Some are not ready. Some they so that's the reason why I put a global services for something that could have an international face to it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so I'll just be able to ask this question because there is a reason as to why you wanted your business to be reviewed. So, what would be the needs that you
Yes,
have
please.
when it comes to your business? What is that thing that you really want to ensure that you get more enlightened? Like, what is the rising need in your business, or even as you as the founder?
Okay. I need guidance. I need guidance. I need um I need guidance basically. Um, help in terms of I need guidance, I need help, I don't have a whole lot to figure out. Um I need people that could help me point me in the right direction. Yes, that's like one of the most important thing I think I need right now.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I would want to open this discussion to the rest of the panelists. I just want to confirm if either one of the panelists would just want to, let me just see, 1 second. Sorry, Ma, is it possible for me to, would you like to like ask more questions or even give out solutions, Minister Amy? Is it okay if I can start with you?
Yes, Mr. Stevens. Sorry, I was running to my phone. Because I have my AirPods in. But good afternoon, Mr. Is this Mr. Ayadeji? I know there were two people, Mr. Ayadeji and the other person. Is he the one who's speaking? Amresh?
Uh,
Ayodeji.
um, Ayodeji.
Okay, yes. Good evening, Mr. Ayadeji, and thanks for sharing your business with us. So I
Good
have a
evening,
few
ma. Thank
questions.
you.
And yes, good evening. So yeah, I have a few questions, and I think I want to appreciate Mr. Stephen for like asking and clarifying, like, okay, where's the business right now? Okay, where's the business right now? And like, where you need help. So the first thing I want to find out more about is on that question of like, how long the business has run, and you mentioned that it's completely new. Now, I want to ask, is there like in the past, what um, area of business have you previously operated? And the reason I ask is because based on your description, what you've shared with us, there are a few things that you're looking at as getting this business started. So it's not just one thing. There are a few things. There's the project management, there's the business consulting, project management, project monitoring, sort of the same. There's the business consulting, there's the training services. There are a whole lot of like different pieces. And so I want to understand two things. One, what kind of businesses have you engaged in the past, right? Like in what area of business? Have you always been a business person, or are you a career professional transitioning into the business world? And I ask that just because you said this business is completely new, you haven't started it yet. So I'm trying to get a sense for your background. Have you been in the career space, or have you been in the business space? Now, if you've been in the business space before, what kind of businesses have you run in the past?
Oh, okay. Apologies. I think I missed a couple of things you said, but I will start up just in case I miss the core question, the core something you mean. You're asking where I am, the face of the business and my past experience. I think that's what the question is about, right? If it is, should I just go ahead?
No, not really. So I
Okay,
understand that the
all right.
phase of the business is phase zero, right? Like, so you're still in the idea generate, well, not necessarily idea generating, but you're still like in the planning phase. So like it's pretty much at, you know, day zero. So I'm asking what your prior experience is, because you've said that these businesses that you've listed out are completely new. I'm trying to get a sense for your background. Are you coming from the career world or are you coming from the business world? If you're coming from the career world, what was your career? um, Like, what industry was your career based on? And then if you're coming from the business world, what businesses did you run prior to this and how did that go?
All right, thank you very much, ma. I'm coming from the career world, and but over time I've crisscrossed, either probably providing solutions to business, maybe not on a maybe a friend, supporting a friend over for their businesses. But my background has been in career, and most of my career has been from maybe project coordination, project coordination, and human capital development, and also sorry, yeah. Um, so the idea also is I have a whole lot of professionals that I have access to, that I can always leverage their experience on. That is why some of the things listed there, that is the reason for some of the things listed there. People that I can partner with to execute some of these things listed. Yes, I don't know if I answered the question correctly, or if I'm able to
Okay. Um,
yeah.
no, no, thanks for what you shared. Um, so if I understand you correctly, your career experience is, pretty much in the like training, human capital development area. And so now you're looking to like begin to do this as an individual, well, as a business, that is, and you're
Yes.
hoping to bring in other people to work with you. Is that right?
Yes.
So if I had to ask you, like, because here's the thing, right? I think about like everything you want to do, and I don't see that they're like, not that they all can't be done under the same umbrella, but like I can't see them like naturally connected to each other in such a way that, like, how can I explain it? I'll give a very basic example, right? Like it's like maybe if somebody wants to run a business, and then on the one hand maybe they sell hair, on the other hand they also make hair, like there's a connecting point. But I'm trying to think about like the connection point of like the different aspects of the business, and I don't know that they're all so naturally connected to where it can feel like one entity. And the reason I say that is because, being that you are just starting out in business for the first time, it like it'll probably be easier, right, if you had one business that you were like, okay, I'm going to focus on this one, I'm going to get this one off the ground. um, then on the basis of that, start building the others, opposed to, okay, I'm going to do the project management business, I'm going to train people for their company, I'm going to help people with like company registrations and stuff like that. My point is that they don't have like a natural point of connection that will make it easy for you to just like have all of them together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I think about like when you pull people in, the person who's training staff, maybe I don't even know what area of training, maybe I don't know, customer service and things like that. That person will have like a completely different experience from maybe project management and things like that. So that's why I'm trying to think about like, okay, if you had to start with one, like say this is too big for you to take on at once, and you haven't yet built that team that's going to help and all of that, which piece would you want to lead with? I know Mr. Steven had asked like which one you think would, make the most money, but I want to get your understanding of like, okay, if you were to start today, like, okay, this is a list of like, I don't know, maybe 5 or so businesses. Which one are you wanting to lead with today?
Okay. So in all this, I will in all this, I would like to just focus um training and on training, then project management, and also the diaspora service.
Okay, so what's
And
the
also,
diaspora service? Okay, go on.
I'm sorry, apologies. And also, I want to add that um, the reason yes, I know it's a bit wide. I mean, the scope of what we offer to do is very wide, and there's no niche. The intention is to, as time goes on, the shape or the direction we I don't want to wait till I have everything figured out before starting out. I just put everything out there and hopefully follow the trend or let the business define itself and eventually come to a niche where most of everything written out here will be um, refined out into something more, um, something that is eventually create a niche. So that is why this is like this, and I'm also open to help in terms of advice in what exactly to do, basically. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, sure. And I do agree that like, as of now, it's like there's no niche, and that's fine. I think that that's sometimes how great ideas come about. Like people just sit down and they just throw ideas together, like, okay, well, what can we do? And then at some point you narrow down into one that makes sense. So what I think is this is that that's great for the
Yep.
for what's it called, for the idea generation phase, right? Like trying to figure out like, okay, I want to start a business, like what do I go into? Do I want to sell, I don't know, houses? Do I want to sell cars? Do I want to transport human beings back and forth, right? Like, but when it comes to the implementation, especially because you don't have an existing business and like a team that can sort of like carry the weight of it, my concern is that it might be too much to do at once. And it's not to say that they cannot all be done, right? Because I think that it won't be hard to look for organizations that sort of like do a bunch of things. Like if I think about Dangote, the same person that is selling sugar is the same person selling uh, petroleum products, right? So like it can all be done. But that what I'm trying to understand is if we said, hey, Mr. Ayodeji, we're willing to come in today to help you. Like we're willing to help you sort of like build and just begin the foundation of the business. Which one would you want to lead with? I don't know that it will be the easiest. Not that I'm saying it's impossible, but I don't think it would be the easiest experience for you to try to get all like I don't know how many, maybe six, but I think I wasn't even counting intentionally. So, but I think it may not be the easiest thing for you. And the reason I say this is that the business world is a completely different world from the career space. And I think that I see that as somebody who like has always had like one leg in the career world, one leg in the business world. They are two completely different places. Like, and so many times transitioning to like the business space, especially when you now begin to hire your own employees and stuff like that, it may be like a lot to manage at once. So if I understand you clearly, are you saying that you're going to be like if we were to say, okay, pick one thing and start with that, like put all the others on the back burner and just start with that? Are you saying that that's going to be the no, right, the training aspect?
Um, okay, so I missed a couple of things you said, but I will just answer what I was able to pick up because of my network. Um, yes, I would like to focus on that, and let me also
Okay.
be vulnerable here. I don't know what I'm
Mhm.
doing. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I I just want to start something, right? I just want to start something. And yes, because of my experience, yeah, and I don't have also have I only have the experience. I don't have the training. I don't
Mhm.
have the training for them. I don't have neither
Okay.
the certifications for them.
Okay.
But I really, really intend to do that.
Mhm.
Like I said, I just want to start something and I'm just starting. And that
Okay.
is where I am personally. And yes, so
Okay.
yeah.
So what we're going to do, right, for the purpose of this session, and maybe Minister Stephen, let me know if you are not in agreement with this, and we can definitely do what you prefer. I think it would be best if we focused on one thing, and that is building a training business. Minister Stephen, would you be fine with that, or would you prefer for us to just like, take the whole thing and try to like analyze each piece?
No. Actually, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be okay.
Okay. And so the reason I think it's necessary for us to do that, Mr. Adeji, is because, like you said, you haven't like had a lot of experience before. And it wouldn't serve you very well if we just give you like, 10,000 different things about 10,000 different things. I think it might be more beneficial if we focused on one thing
I
and just go
agree.
really deep in that. Okay, good. So for the training business, um, so what I would say is this, and please, if there's anybody in the house who like does this, please feel free to indicate your like interest in speaking. We'll give you some time if you want to raise your hand or just put something in the chat section. So this is corporate training that you're going into, right?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? I asked if you're going into corporate training,
Hello?
like you want to. Yeah, can you hear me,
Sorry,
Mr.
can
Adeji?
yes, yeah, I mean it's back now. But I didn't
Okay.
hear the all right.
Yeah, no worries. I was asking, like, you want to go into corporate training, right? Like, so this is you working with organizations to train their staff. Is that right?
Sorry, hello?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. Adeji. You know
Sorry,
what?
my
I think it'll
network.
be okay. Yeah, I think it's okay for you to log out and log back in, right? Like, I mean, we're still here. So if you want to log out and log back in, that's fine. We'll be here. We'll wait.
Oh, that might take it. I think I can manage. I will ask for the recording later. It's a call that was interrupting the meeting, but
Got it.
so that I don't take up. I've taken almost an hour already, so I think I
No,
will
it's okay.
just.
Sometimes
All
we
right.
come here and we just do only one business if that's what the time permits. So that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that like you're able to fully participate because it seems you're not hearing um, like what I'm saying because of the network. But anyway, I was saying that what you want to do as far as training. So you're looking at corporate training. Is that is that what it is? Like you want to work with organizations to train their staff?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Let me also add a bit information to that.
Mhm.
I don't. I'm not doing any training personally.
Okay.
Most of the time I have ideas. I generate ideas. I do all the legwork, putting all this, everything that needs to be the proposal, the calling,
Mhm.
the networking, everything, while I get professionals to do the training
Mhm.
to do the training while I'm developing myself on the other end. But the reason I'm not focusing on one particular aspect of corporate training is because um I'm looking at a need in the cyberspace. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've made a research about it. I'm not a cyber professional, but I have people that I've already spoken to. So I'm putting a proposal together. It's 90%, 95% done that I would like to put out. Then I've told my people around me or colleagues that I know they are professionals and oh, this is what I'm doing. When this is done, I would like you to come in on this. Mine is to do the groundwork. They are to come and do their thing. So that is the plan. I was supposed to do a marketing training for a microfinance in Ibadan. I think last week I've sent them a proposal. I'm still waiting for their response. I've already spoken to the people that are coming to do the training. So that is the model I'm working with right now.
Okay. So the people who are coming to do the training, are they like your colleagues, people who you've worked with in the past, or people who have like who typically like on a professional level they deliver trainings like all the time? Is like who are they and what's your relationship with them?
Oh, okay. Yes. So people I've worked with over the time that I can vouch for, I know their
Mhm.
level of competence, and I also have people that they do training. That's their area of focus and
Okay.
specialization.
Okay. Hmm. I'm trying to kind of get a sense for like because so in that regard, I now see how it's like, okay, you're not necessarily building a training business because you're not doing the training. This is
No,
more so like a, I know what the word is, like a concierge service where it's like whatever they need, you're like the guy, like you're the
Y-
go-to person to source it and stuff
yes,
like that.
yes, basically.
Okay. So this is more of a concierge services type of thing. But the only thing that like I think about is just so your liability in the whole arrangement, what is that going to be like? And the reason I ask is because, like you said, you don't train and you don't
Sorry,
have the experience in training. Oh, okay.
you said something about liability, then your
Yeah,
voice went off.
what's that going to be like, right? So let me give an example, right?
All
Let's
right,
say
okay.
you put together a package for this company in Ibadan and the people go deliver a marketing training for them. And you pay the trainers, you get your cuts, and everybody goes home. But after the trainers have gone, next thing the company says, hey, we don't think that the people that you brought deliver the training very well. We're not happy with this. And, or let's even assume that they haven't even paid yet, right? And it becomes a situation of we're not happy with the delivery and we're not going to pay until we get what we deserved, or we're actually not interested in anymore because in this thing anymore. Like, how do you intend to navigate that, right? Because if these people don't have any, like they're not associated with your company, they are basically contractors and they don't have any, would I say, they don't owe your end customer anything. They only owe you something. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here. What's that arrangement like? So if a company like this one you're working with comes to you and says, hey, we want to do training for our marketing team, then you go get the people to do the training. What does that look like from like a legal standpoint, from an agreement
Uh,
standpoint? Is this an agreement
Okay,
between the customer and your trainers? Is it between the trainers and you? If it's between the, okay, let me just take the answer there first.
right, okay. So basically, the way I understand what you're asking me, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. It's about risk and mitigations. If is okay, so um, if that is it, so what I'm starting with right now is based on relationship. Is
Okay.
based on relationships. So over the years, I've worked worked with different people, different organizations, and
Mhm.
across. So yes, so number one thing is anybody I'm working with is based on relationship. Relationship in terms of, yes, one of the things you said is, of course, they are not part of the company. So um I might not, so I'm very selective about people, very selective. So
Mm.
yes, so anybody I'm bringing on board, I'm not just vouching for their competency, I'm vouching for their character and their personality and everything associated with them. Because yes, I have a brand, a name to protect. And so don't let me go into plenty stories, but um there's always risk in every business, but I can vouch for the people. Whatever supplies, if even if it's supply business supplies, I can vouch for all that. Of course, people are not. You can't rely on people 100%, but for a start, that is a risk I'm willing to take. And whatever anything else that comes with it, maybe whether they are supposed to pay, they're not I've always explained to the people I'm working with or anybody that I'm relating with. They know my state. They know what stage I am about money. I'm always upfront with them. Okay. For example, the thing I was supposed to do in Ibadan, I've told the guy this how much they are paying. They might not pay, but the reason even the pay is really low, but this is the reason I'm doing it. Are you okay with it? Are you going to? And I can guarantee the service is going to provide for them. It's going to be worth more than whatever they are willing to pay for. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but yes, and no situation is the same. I'm ready to think through and to whatever um anticipate whatever risk might come out of it and to plan ahead for it. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers the question very well.
Okay. Well, thank you. I mean, I guess it does. So I think what I want to kind of establish with this is just the need for you to have like a proper like operating, say, brochure, like not brochure, but like operating manual, if you will, right?
Okay.
If we have a job in a particular place, like what's the arrangement like? Because those are things you want to take care of, right? Especially because you're bringing different people together. Like if you were delivering the training, or maybe your own stuff, right? There's a level of control you have over it, but then there's how people can be, right? And so you always want to have that in mind. And trust me, and that's why I was like, okay, if you haven't been in business before, then you want to kind of get ready for a great adventure because you can say, oh, I know these people will have a relationship and all of that. And you'd be very surprised how like an actual deal or money or stuff like that can change the context of things, right? So that's why I think the two things I want to establish with my own train of questions was one, actually like kind of pegging you down into something, right? Which I think we've been able to achieve, which is the training. It feels like the one that you're able to get on with right away because you do have some level of like experience, if you will, in that space, not necessarily as a business owner, but you are familiar enough in that field and have enough relationships to get things started. So I think it's a good place to start. But the second thing I wanted you to have in place is some sort of like proper, like operating standard, like operating manual, because while these people are your friends and you're like people you've done stuff with in the past, you never want to assume that business and friendship will operate the same way. And you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your customer, and you want to also protect your partner. Because I mean, they're going to be partners in some way when they start working with you. So I think that it's important for you to kind of have something in place. I know it might sound a little odd because it's like, we're friends. Like that's my guy. Which one are we? Signing stuff, but may not necessarily. I mean, maybe you may not want to start with signing right away, but you actually want to have something that's clear. Like, what kind of client expect from this? How are you going to take care of your people, right? Like these are things that have to be known. For example, if you get them to do a job and the client says, oh, we're going to pay you, but something happened, CEO absconded from the country, locked the accounts, and took all the money with him and stuff like that. What happens? Are they going to eat that loss or are you going to be responsible for that, right? These are things you want to clarify before you bring people into that space, right? Just to avoid any situations where it's like now you can't even go on with the business and all of that. And so you want to think about those kind of scenarios and plan for them. Like I said, a contract maybe is the best thing. But again, because these are your friends, a contract might be like going from 0 to 100, like going from completely informal to extremely formal. And maybe you don't want that, but you want to be clear on those things. If this job goes wrong, who is responsible financially? Is that going to be you? Is that going to be the customer? Are these partners going to agree that if the client goes funny, that they're not going to hold you accountable for their pay? Um, or are they going to be at liberty to come after you for their money? So those are the things I wanted to establish, and I think that it would be okay for me to pass it on to the next person. So, Minister Stephen, please feel free to pass this on to the next member you wanted to bring up.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. I would like to. Uh, sorry. I would like Minister Alexi to be able to give his thoughts, or even if you have more questions, sir, you can proceed to pose.
All right, thank you, and very well put, and a lot of nuggets from Madam Amy. That was powerful. And let me make sure I pronounce the name right, Mister. For the sake of time, I'm just going to it. Yeah, thanks for presenting, business, and right off the bat, I'm just gonna, just share what I think will be good to do as well. Being that you're coming from the careers world and now going into business, um, one thing I would advise, since you're also seeking mentorship and stuff like that, is, and I hope you already are. I don't know if you're big into books, but I would advise reading as many business books as possible to gain some level of confidence as far as knowledge, because it will be needed. Because a lot of things you actually experience in the field, um, it will be like, oh, this is what that 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 person in that book meant, kind of thing, right? And so when you come up against more things, you kind of, it's better to have someone, which I think you should do as well, but like have a mentor kind of hold your hand through everything. But obviously, even having a mentor, the mentor, if you are gaining knowledge even through books, which we also know can be some sort of mentorship, it helps your own progress, right? So the mentor won't have to do all the work. You're actually digging into books yourself, learning as you go yourself. There's a lot to learn if you're actually not coming into the space. Now I'll probably shed more light on what I just spoke about, but let me go here first. You're saying you're going to, if it's the training bit, you're going to have people do the training. So what I would advise is, because at this point you're not the one doing the work, especially being that it's a startup, and so you're very liable. And like Madam Amy said, in this world of business, and friend, trust me, I've had it happen to me. It's not a friendship matter. Friendship is good, it can help, but in fact, it even hurts more when the friendship is, right? So it's just understand business is business. Business is business, because what happens is, because you're not the one doing the work. Let's say you get a trainer who could be a friend to go train a whole business, and they like the person, right? And they recommend the person to another company. At that point, where do you come in, right? What's the arrangement? Do you get a cut off of that recommendation, right? So what I would advise is to really focus on building your brand. And I'm sure there's a lot of competition in Nigeria in these spaces. I mean, these are not like new businesses. These are not new concepts or ideas. But at least if you could find a target market, or a location, or a place that maybe it's not very saturated, maybe you can really focus on there, so that, because when you have a strong brand, a strong name that has like good good reviews, good customer service, that way people will always recommend you the company, right? So even when you send out trainers, under the name, because your name is known, because your name is, and obviously it will be very tough to get your name to be very known, right? Because like I said, it's, first of all, it's a startup, and then I'm sure there's competition, and I hope you've done your market research. right, for these spaces. But having a strong brand identity, finding your place in that the market share, so that even the trainers themselves, they will kind of, how should I say this? Like they will know they're representing a brand, right? Like almost like you building your brand so strong that even if they were to veer off and do their own thing, like they know they have to compete with you. But so it's not some, oh, my friend is recommending me to go speak to this company. No, it's a strong company. Rush Solution is sending me. So you really want to focus hard on your brand. Focus hard and be strong on social media, on Google search. Be strong on there, and like I said, I'm sure it will be very competitive, but be strong on there. So when you're sending out people, they really know it's not easy to just do a side thing without you even knowing about it, kind of thing. So that's what I'll really advise, because that's kind of what you have right now at this point. If you're not the one doing the services, what you have is your company name. What you have is your brand. Because like I said, if you go recommend someone and the company likes them, it's and if they recommend that person to someone, then now they're the business, right? So you really have to, another thing is put things in places, like how Madam Amy mentioned, how will the risk that you even spoke to, how liable you could be, even when the company doesn't like it and they decide not to pay. Other things will be, putting things in place so that if you recommend someone and let's say the company decides to recommend that person to some other company, like how do you come in, how do you make your, I guess, percentage or stuff like that? So these are things to consider. And then back to what I was saying before, because now building a business, part of what comes in is building a team, customer service, administrative work. You want to do things so well so that your name really, sells itself. So those are where, like I mentioned, kind of get your head in that knowledge space of business. So, you could really figure things out, because from your own words, like you don't know what you're doing, which I think is very good to admit. And so what I would advise is at least cover the basics with the knowledge that is required. The books, the videos, the if you get a mentor right now, great. But even before the mentorship, you can mentor yourself in a sense. Get devour all the knowledge. It will give you that confidence. It almost like you kind of know at least a thing or two to do. So you're not out there, because the business world is it's because it's money that people are after, and you know how people will lay down their lives for money. And so, and at the end, it also there's a question I kind of was gonna ask, like kind of I don't know if I should ask it as a question, but like, why are you what's your why? You know what I mean? Why are you going into this business? Like, why are you going into it? What's your why? Because if you don't really have a strong why, then you just fall off when it gets tough, which is
Okay.
right.
All right. Thank you so much for everything you said. I missed some part, but I'm glad I will have access to the recording. I intend to listen to everything after. Right. To your question, why? Um. So the reason for doing this is because somehow, so it might not make sense, right? But I will say it nonetheless. Somehow, I know I'm supposed to do it. I don't know why, but I really know I'm supposed to do this. Yeah. So the convenient thing for me, I'm a sorry, let me look for a way to paraphrase so I don't talk too much. I'm a content person. I don't probably look for too much from life. If I can get the basic stuff I need, I'm good. But really, but there's every time I think in that direction, something pulls me in the other direction in terms of um there's something else, there's something bigger than job that I am supposed to do, and that is one of my motivating factor. Something bigger than a job. Every time I apply for a job, um I just feel like I should look in the other direction. And yes, and I prayed when I wanted to do this, and this is what God laid in my heart, and that is why I'm doing it. And also about, yeah, okay, some of the points you make is about, friends and all that. I think to a large extent, yeah, business is business. I don't mix that in any way. So business is business. I don't know how else to explain it, but business for me, as far as I'm concerned, business is business. You can be my friend, you can be my sibling. I'll fire you if you're not doing what, if you're not aligning. I can fire my brother. I can fire anybody. I'm just saying it, when it comes to business, I mean, there's a level of standard I've seen. There's a level of standard I really want to, okay, attain. Oh, okay, yeah, right. But that is the why. I'm getting to this. Please, somebody's hand is raised. I don't know if it's a question for me. Yes.
That's me, but I don't want to interrupt Minister Alexia. I wanted to just put my hand up so I can go when he's done.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just hurry up and yeah, thanks for the answer. I think time. So okay, so that's a good why. It's good. It seems, I'm sure you're a believer. It seems the Lord is the one that laid it on your heart. And you're stepping out in obedience and faith, which is very good. Just I read a book, jump in even if you don't know how to swim. Very good. It's like the first step. And so like I've already recommended, I'll recommend this book. Um, John D. Rockefeller's 38 Letters to His Son. I don't know if I can recommend books on here, but he was a believer too, Rockefeller. Um,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't get the name. I'm
uh,
begging. Can you type it in the chat so I
okay,
copy it?
I'll type it in. I'll type it in.
All
It,
right.
it
Thank you.
was it was basically getting his son ready for the world of business that he was about to leave him with, because he amassed a whole bunch of wealth. And in the 38 letters, he basically, because he's your son, he tells him like everything he needs to know as far as the business world is concerned, and it's just powerful. That's what I'll leave you with. Just if you could read that book, it kind of will give you an idea of what you're up against and how
All
to
right.
really self and I guess be successful at it. So I think yeah, I can leave you with that, and then
Yep.
over to
Thank you very much. I will get the book and okay, please. I'm still waiting for the name of the book in the chat box.
Okay. So, Mr. Ayodeji, I wanted to share
All
a
right. Thank you.
few.
I've seen it. Um,
Okay, yeah, I wanted to share a few thoughts as well, just based on Minister Alexis' input and some of the responses that you gave, right? So I actually forget the first one that I wanted to share, but this one I think is the biggest one that I wanted to just kind of stay on for a second. Um, and please take this the right way when I say this, that when it comes to business, I do not think that you can be successful if you are, like you put it, a content person. And I say that because I think it's important for people to think about the motivation for like certain businesses that they're getting into. Sometimes the look of a business is quite like attractive, or the picture of a business owner is quite attractive, and you don't even understand like, okay, what you're going to be hit with when you actually do business, right? And I think that for a lot of people who are new to business, that's something that they're not prepared for. And I can use myself as an example, right? When I was starting my hair care brand, I just wanted people to have like hair products. Literally, that's all I cared about. But I didn't realize how much would actually go into it. I didn't realize how much would go into it. And when I started, I began to see it and I was like, okay, I guess I'm in it. And I remember like a couple of years later, there was a friend of mine who, like, she had been seeing our page, our posts, things like that. And so she reached out to me. She's like, oh, she's thinking about this. Why? Because, she has beautiful hair. People, always like, oh, your hair's nice and whatever. So she just figured, like, well, this is a place I can make money because people like my hair. And then she's like, oh, she wanted to get my thoughts on that, if I could share insight. And when I began to share like everything about like getting my own hair care brand like off the ground and all of that, she realized, like, she was like, I don't actually think I want to be in this. And I think it's been over a year, maybe two, and she just never did anything with it. And I think that that's because there's someone who's willing to be very upfront with you about everything that is actually involved. Because a lot of the time, people don't tell you, right? Like, people don't see the back end of business, and the front end is just so glamorous, so wonderful. Like, oh, you have freedom of your time, you can sleep as long as you want, you can do all these things, can have all the money and stuff like that. Um, but people don't like really share like a lot of the back end and what it takes to grow businesses. I think if I don't know if Joy can find it, but I'm gonna see how I can work with Joy. There's actually an episode that I want you to watch, or not watch, listen to, from Faith and Works. I forget her name, Uzo. Yes, Miss Uzo. So she started her own chocolate brand in Nigeria, and I thought it was quite like, she was so transparent and so resourceful in sharing everything that was involved in building that brand. So I think it might be an episode you might enjoy listening to. But I wanted to say this, that, and this is my own opinion, and please like take it for what it is worth, whatever you think it's worth. Like, maybe nothing, maybe a pinch of salt. But I think that the business world is not for people who are content, right? And I don't say that like from the standpoint of, oh, you need to be a greedy person or a covetous person or whatever. But the thing with a job is that it actually forces you into a place of performance. Why? Because you are not going to get a salary. Somebody can fire you. Oh, thank you so much, Minister T. Yeah, I think she did two episodes. I'm gonna see how I can get them to Joy so she can get them to you, because I think it'll be a big blessing for you. But you can't be a content person. So you will find that, like, I don't know if you've been listening to some of the other sessions, like, we typically are asking people, like, okay, what are your plans? What's your revenue goal? Like, you have to be that sort of person. If you are content, you will never make it in business, because it's a competitive space and you need to always have something that you're running toward, because no one is pushing you. So something has to be pulling you. So because with a job, there's someone that's at least pushing you, right? So even if you don't, nothing is pulling you, like, oh, getting to director level or getting to senior this or getting to CEO that. Like, even if nothing is pulling you from that point, there's at least someone pushing you. There's your bills pushing you. There's your boss pushing you. Like, your boss needs you to show up. But with business, it is very easy to just get in there and get lost. And that's why sometimes people can start a business and then maybe after your couple of years or something, they're like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm going back uh, to corporate. I think it's okay if people can like assess and be like, you know what, based on the person that I am, I'm a corporate girly, or I'm a corporate, like, and I would tell them like that all the time. I was like, I'm like, corporate is my love. I love corporate. Like, so I'll tell him that all the time. Like, I love business and all of that, but I love corporate. So I wanted to just point that out. So this is something where it's not even just a review of like, oh, your business idea and what you intend to do. It's a review of who you are as a person, what your motivations are. So when you say, "Oh, I just feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing," I'm trying to tell you right now that that is not going to be enough. Like something has to be driving you, something has to be pushing you, something has to be like the force behind you engaging in business. Is it just so that you can be more relaxed? Maybe you don't like your boss, you don't like your field. Maybe the answer is getting a different field, not necessarily being your own boss, right? Because sometimes when people step out to be their own boss, that's where that business dies, because some people just don't, like, they're not wired in that way to just like put immense levels of pressure on themselves. And the truth is that business will put immense levels of pressure on you. I remember um Miss Uzo sharing some of her experiences, right? Like when she looked at the people who like were her staff, and she realized that if this business fails, these people's kids are not going to go to school, they're not going to eat. Like it put a lot of fire under her, and she had to start doing whatever she had to do. If you can please mute Minister, sorry, not Minister, Mr. Ayodeji, I think you're, thank you. Okay, so it put a lot of fire under her to start looking for how to move that business forward. This lady basically started scouring the internet to find how she could find grants. Why? She needed money. Like this is real stuff. It's like, I'm applying for this grant because I need money. I came in here because I just wanted people to have good chocolate, but now I'm in a situation where if I cannot get good chocolates out to people, if people don't buy my chocolates, there are a lot more families that are going to suffer because of that. And so now this is what's keeping me up at night. So it's that thing of like, why are you doing it? What's keeping you up at night? Like I think there's a lot more to think about, when it comes to getting into business than people are aware of until you get into it. But it's good to actually have people to tell you before you go there. Like, oh, I don't like to work for somebody. That's never going to be a good enough reason, because guess what? You're always going to be employed by your customers when you go into business. So if the reason you leave a job is because, or leave the corporate world is because, oh, I don't want to be employed by anybody, you're going to be employed by your customers. Like they're going to determine if you get paid or not. So essentially, they're kind of now your employers. And that's why they always say, oh, customer is always right, right? So there are some of these things that we need to drill into, because I mean, trust me, thankfully, this platform is called Faith and Work. So we don't have a shortage of people who are in business because they believe that that's how God is stirring their hearts. But there's always a question of if the person that you now are is the exact person who is able to have or do the things that you believe God is putting in your heart. So think about that. I don't, and this now is a person, more of a like a me thing, not necessarily like a general guide. Like I don't like when people um are properly prepared for something they're stepping into. I know some people prefer like, oh, don't say anything, let people just go in there and find out for themselves or whatever. But I don't like that. I think it's right to kind of prepare people, not to scare them, but at least to let them know, like, hey, this is what you're stepping into. So you kind of decide, like, okay, am I built for this or not? Do I like it or not? Let me just tell you this one thing right now. You're going to have to develop like an appetite to succeed, an appetite to like get to the next level, an appetite for more. And it's not because, oh, now you want to be driving Range Rover or whatnot, but you cannot be naturally a content person and thrive in business. It's very cutthroat, very competitive. And people get weeded out very quickly when it's like they don't have that desire to stay in there and do what they have to do legally and biblically, would I say accurately, to stay and to not just exist but to grow in business. So this may be something to think about. But if it's okay, Minister Stephen, I actually wanted Minister Akudo to share some thoughts, and that's because she runs a business in Lagos. So I think it'll be helpful to get her insights just because of the number of years of experience she's had running business in Lagos, employing staff, and just kind of working through all of the things that come with the business world. So, Minister Kudo, if you can speak, please take the mic.
Okay, can you hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So I'll just be brief, actually, Mr. Ayo. Okay, from what I heard, you have various ideas, which is very good, and you know, we're able to just streamline to one here. So it's obvious that you have ideas, a lot of ideas like bursting in your mind, and which is very, 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 very good. But there's this thing about also strengths and weaknesses too when you have a business. Even when you choose this particular one, let's say the training, you're still going to have your strengths and weaknesses too, that would be a drive, and the ones that you may still need someone to assist you with, or you may still need to train yourself. So the thing is, Lagos itself, or let me say even Nigeria, there's a lot of instability actually in the economy right now. And if you're just, will I say, moving and just, oh, okay, I want to do this, and oh, I believe it's really not enough because of the level of instability. Not even only because of you now. For instance, you had said you have a training business where you get people and all that to train other people. The instability is not even that. Maybe you've planned yourself and you're very good at planning yourself. But what if, let me say, you have a couple of 4 trainers, and then they're your friends and they've been doing this for you and all that, and something happens, maybe they have to travel, and they won't be around, then you now have to start sourcing for more reliable people, and then you have to start building the trust again and making sure that these people can deliver the same quality of trainings that the people you used to trust can deliver. So that's one of the things. Secondly, the companies too, your training, you're going to be training, they will also have their own policies too, which would also be changing alongside every other thing that is happening currently. So just as they've said, that you need to factor one particular thing, and I would say for now, let it be the one that you have a strength in. That as they will say, bad as it bad, you will still stand with that one. Secondly, I don't know if I heard properly, but I think I heard that in the trainings, you're not going to be training. You just have people doing that for you, which is not bad. But I don't think it's a bad thing for you to have a session yourself that you train personally. Maybe a particular, let me say, topic now amongst the trainings that you deliver. It's very important that you do. No, now why it's important is, one, apart from the financial aspect, you will be able to really understand, the business yourself. Sometimes when you outsource these things and you just bring people, yes, at some point the money will be coming, but there are some rudiments, there's some things you will learn when you're the one in that training ground, when you're the one having to speak to them, when you're the one having to, interact with the clients and then do the training. You have to transport yourself, you have to be there early, you have to discuss with them, you have to manage expectations, you have to speak to them, you also have to deliver value now. Do you understand? So you've put yourself in the shoes of a trainer yourself, and then you can see it yourself. It will help you manage expectations and also give out too. When you're giving, you would have, you would know what to expect. It's not going to just be an outsourced thing now. You've worked in that shoes. And then when it comes to the financial aspect, if you're to pay 4 trainers and then maybe have your own cut, out of their own payment, now you will just pay 3 people and then you will have your own cut, and then still have something from whatever they paid them. Now, another thing about just outsourcing things sometimes is that you may now be, sorry to say, overcharging your clients, because out of what you will pay those people, you too, you need to also have something tangible enough for yourself. And when I mean tangible enough for yourself, I mean that something that you can hold, that let's say these people say, oh, this training, we didn't get value, what do we do? How are we going to do it? We expected that this, and the company is expecting you to maybe bring that person back. And some of these companies, they're not willing to pay you again for that. Let me just say, you're not willing, because if someone goes to deliver a training, you cannot control what the person is offering to the company. And the company can come and say, oh, I've done a training actually, that after a training, they said, oh, they will give me this material, they'll give me this. At the end of the training, they didn't give me anything. And they keep calling me, oh, how was our training? I said training was okay, but the things you people promised me, I didn't get it. This is just one of it. And I just said, for these people, I would not, have to do any training with them again. Already on my own side, I will not go back and I will not recommend. these things actually, happen. And now let's say you have to now, okay, let the person come back. On whose bill would that be? If you don't already have a capital, or you don't have money set aside for this thing, you're already digging out of your own pockets to pay for this thing, because you want to satisfy the customer, and you still have to be able to pay that person to go back, even if you're not paying him full, but at least the logistics. And let's remove the aspect of even maybe the friendship or however it is, because if you tell the person, and the person may feel, I don't know the relationship you have with these people. Do you understand? So what I'm just saying is, one, is best to focus on one particular business, that is your strength, that is your strength. Secondly, I would say there's nothing wrong with you, if you don't have a background experience in all these training things, going to go and pair with a company that already does that. You can just put yourself there for 2 months with them, or 3 months, depending on how long, they would accept you. And don't expect so much payment, because you're learning from them. Before I opened my own business, immediately I finished school, my mom was like, oh, I want you to like open a pharmacy and everything. I told her, I don't have experience in this, and I don't want to have to go into this thing and all that. That now informed my decision to work. If you're in Lagos, everybody knows MedPlus Pharmacy. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest. And I worked with them. I worked with them for 2 years, and when I got the experience, I left. It was that, how I even worked was that the first month, they told me, I did my interview, and then they were like, okay, you start in December. But I was free throughout November. I wasn't doing anything, because they wanted me to open a branch for them. Then, because of my license and everything, I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I said, this November I'm not doing anything, can I just attach to the branch closer to me? And I just told them, you guys don't need to pay me. Yeah, they were like, okay, no problem. And then, I started learning, because I was to open a branch and I still didn't have experience. So that 1 month I did was like free, but I gained something from it, and it helped me when I opened that, branch, because that was my vision. That was what I wanted. So I don't think it's bad for you to have experience, because you're saying you're coming from the corporate, this thing. Apart from the books you read, apart from the YouTube messages or as in teachings, try to have hands-on experience with these things. Sometimes, that's if you can, or try as much as possible. Don't let the experience and the mistakes, be when you have entered and you have put your money. You can make those mistakes or learn those things when you're already working with somebody, and you will see it there and you would understand. So by the time I opened my own, branch, I now, it was easy for me, because I had already worked, in a company. I understood a lot of things. It was very easy for me at that point. Some things were hard, but having to open up a branch, having to do a lot of things, I could already do it because I had, that experience. Focus on your strength for now. Build up on that strength. If it's the trainings, I saw something about registration of businesses on the page that I was showing before. Do you know the laws that govern this CAC, this thing? Because it's always changing. Even when I registered my business, I did it myself. But the way it is now, I don't even think you can do it yourself. The thing is so complicated now. Do you know, those things? And when you're even doing CAC registration, you have to do, I think, file tax return. You have to, I don't know, link. If the thing is just it's not as easy as it was before. Do you understand? Do you have the experience? Do you know people? Once you even start filing all those tax, you have to connect it. You have to connect it to the person's area. If the person is in Yaba, that's the tax office the person would use. You know where those offices are. If the person is in Aja, you have to start traveling all the way to Aja to link or do all that. That's the way it is now. You can't say, your business is here and, you're going to, it's usually the place closer to you. As I said, a lot of things are changing. You need to really settle down, and it's not bad to gain experience, first of all, before going into this. I know you have so many ideas, but ideas doesn't just mean that, you should just put money and go into it. Learn from somebody. It's not actually bad. For now, if you really, really, really need to start a business, focus on the one that is your strength, that that, you can stand, regardless, or you have some experience, you can even do it yourself. I always tell people that any business you're doing, make sure you know how to do it. Don't be bringing people, because people can disappoint you. People can disappoint you. You would always have issues. My own pharmacy, when they misbehave, I'll just go and sit down and do my work. Because they know that they cannot do all those shaka. I will just sit down and do my work. Part of that to take me this how many days, and then I will get somebody, because I can do it. There's nothing you put in that pharmacy I cannot do personally. It's just that, at a level I will not be doing everything. So definitely I have to employ people. But make sure you can do something yourself, so that if push comes to shove, you'll just do your business and leave everybody for now and focus on yourself. So I hope I was able to just, appeal to one or two things. Back to you, Minister Stephen, please.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Minister Kudo, and also Minister Emmy and Minister Alexi, because the advice that is literally being given is so resonating that I feel like he would need to literally go back to the beginning to be able to just ensure that he's fine-tuned the business. He has fine-tuned the business. But before I just give out my own, I would just want to give Minister Tosin and then also Minister Yemi some time, so that they're able to also give advice to Brother Ayodiji. Minister Tosin,
please let Minister Yemi go first. I see his hand is raised. Apostle Mordecai, please, over to you, sir.
Sorry for jumping in, Mr. T. I'll try to be as quick as possible. What just caught my attention? I think Mr. Ayodeji, right? If I'm correct.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to find out I saw diaspora service or services or something like that. What exactly is that? Hello?
Yes, hello, I can hear you now.
Okay, I saw you put diaspora services. What exactly is that?
Okay, diaspora services is for Nigerian, for people outside Nigeria, basically, that want to do something back home. And we're positioning ourselves to render services to them. Basically, to cut across several things. Maybe they want to start a project. It could be a business. It could be a building. Maybe they want to start build. Okay, basically that's from my interaction. Some of my friends abroad. Some of my friends abroad would have loved to do something back in Nigeria, but there's a bit of distrust, maybe family-wise, or some have to let them know Nigeria is safe enough for investment, or you have this so much money, you can build this something here and put it out as a short leg. That's just one of those things. Then I know some people that probably would like to start selling maybe some products, Nigerian foods, and they need to source for materials here in Nigeria. There are some people that travel out without maybe have issues with their account. Maybe their BVN is not okay. Yeah, somebody's on this list. Should I go on or finish? So basically, Nigerian, basically the service is to cater for people outside Nigeria that need to do something back home here in Nigeria.
Minister Abi, please, sir. Please, sir. Can I please steal a minute or two from your slot? I apologize, sir, please.
That's fine.
Is the statement that you've made twice now, Mr. Ayodeji, that I just feel like I should address it? Because the idea that people who live abroad and are trying to establish something in Nigeria, people who have made a lot of money, to me, it's like, it feels very red flag, because it's kind of like, these people have a lot of money and I just need to find a way to position myself in there to be part of that. I just want to establish that it's not everybody trying to do stuff in Nigeria that made a lot of money, like you keep saying. I know you've been in the Y Combinator. The thing is, there are some of these people who they get funded, they get like all these funds and what's it called? Like, they have investor, yeah, they get like, VCs to back what they're doing. But I assure you that the majority of people who are in the diaspora and are trying to do something back home, it is not because they have a lot of money. Because I know earlier you had mentioned it, and I was like, okay. And then you mentioned it again, and then there was a whole idea of having two different pricing systems for them. If they had a lot of money, they would honestly hire like people where they are. So please keep that in mind, just so that your business model is not based on the expectation that the people abroad have a lot of money and are willing to pay. Because I promise you, not like is that's not how it typically is. Like they don't have that much money. They are just trying to secure something back home for themselves. Okay, so please back to you, Minister Yemi. Sorry, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't mean it exactly the way I said it. I guess I've said it. Yes, there's no like different pricing list for, oh, they have a lot of money and we can make a lot from them. A dollar to conversion, dollar to naira kind of. That's not the intent. Yeah, I'm sorry I said that. I guess it's that's not my intention. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for clearing that up. I see that even as it is now, your business is focused mainly on leveraging. That's what we call leveraging, whereby you don't have all the requisite either knowledge or skills in that area. Then you seek a company or somebody who has it, and you try to work with them on a joint venture to now be able to execute that contract. Okay, so I see where you're going with this and how you're starting with this. So you're leveraging now on other people's skills. You're leveraging on relationships, and as such, try to use that to kind of like open doors into this business that you want to start. Okay, that's not bad. That's all right. But you need to have, which everybody has already talked about, you need to have a very well vetted, credible partner that is ready to work with you on this. And and you must have a JV signed with them. You must have a contract signed with them, to make sure that yes, we're securing, you've secured their take in this, what you two have developed. The contract will be well explained in terms of the purpose of the joint venture, so which helps you and helps both parties, so there's no issue. Everything will be itemized, so you know exactly what you agree on, everything, including their cost. So that means they will give you their cost, if I'm correct, then you probably not add your own markup and everything and then present it to the company. But they must, the people also, they should be, let me use that word, although I wanted to say they must, they must be certified in the area of expertise. There has to be certification that yes, these people are very good in this area and they have certification to back it up. Not just somebody who has read or is well read in that area and he has the skills to present. It's good to have a strong partner who is certified in the area of that training. So you're doing all this to cover yourself and to protect yourself, because you always have to remember that since you're going in this, you're going through this pattern of what I call leveraging, then you need to also protect yourself. And the ways to protect yourself is make sure you have a well-documented contract on a joint venture. Make sure you have the person you are working with, make sure they are certified, they have certification, they're verifiable within and outside of Nigeria. That will help you to carry out the contract. And then also it's very important to make sure that you also have what we call a non-circumvention, contract that you will sign with them, so nobody can go behind you, and also a non-disclosure. Whatever it is that you're doing, and because they are your partners, they will be privy to it, and then so you have to sign a contract with them that you can't go to circumvent to go behind me, and you cannot disclose anything that is within the confines of this contract that we've signed together. So everything stays to protect yourself and to protect your company. I can see from what you've said thus far, your strength in marketing, in business development, in sales seems you're very strong in that area. Or you can correct me if I'm wrong. And then I can see that you're focusing on your area of strength, and you're trying to also leverage on other people's areas of strength in order to start something tangible. So it's good to start this way. It's going to reduce your overhead and your cost. But at the end of the day, you also must be able to plan and have goals and visions, in terms of learning all these 9 areas of services that you have listed here. So you have to educate yourself in those areas as well. So even though if you're not fully involved, it's very important to know and to understand whoever is training what they're doing. So when you sit down, you're talking, you're not unaware of what they're saying. You can very well sit down to understand exactly what they're saying because you study into it as well. And you've been able to get your own certificate, or at least study into it rigorously to understand, what you guys, what you're doing and what they're presenting. Now, if we're talking about, when you go for this training, if the reason I'm telling you all these things to safeguard yourself is because the climate that we're in, especially in Nigeria, is a must you do that. Because I live here as well, so I understand how everything is done here. And even when you go for the training, because people are not there's really no integrity anyway. It's very scarce to find one. So you have to mitigate against any of such that might come as a result of your training or any area of these services that you want to be involved in. That even at the end of your training, as you finish your training, there must be a questionnaire that you will give to everybody to sign, and then they will rate the training right there before you leave. So there's evidence that this was done, and there's something to present if they came back to now said, "Oh, sorry, we're not happy with the training." So you have to put measures in place, preventive measures in place to prevent anything that might happen. And also, you also have to have a corrective measures, as when it's needed, So that's very important to do that, so that you protect yourself. In any organization you go, there must be a questionnaire at the end of each training. It protects you, and it helps you to also know that the people you have, they're doing a good job when they can score and rate them at the end of that training. So if the training is bad, we know. If the training is good, right then. Then you can also now begin to plan, how you're going to resolve the issue. So if you're building this company now that you're leveraging on just the expertise of others, maybe a time will come when if you're by God's grace, if you're doing very well, that you might not need to start employing to fill those positions, and you have enough capital to pay your staff. So this can be done as an in-house. Where the in-house, everybody prepare for the training. Each part knows what they're going to do, and all of you take off to do the training. But you must have a plan. You must have goals that you set for yourself also to equip yourself, and you must have a daily goal that's driving you. So that you can be able to meet all these goals and the tasks that you set on a daily basis. Now, also, you also need to be very careful so that you can, because another thing we do at times, because we want to, come out and we want to, be engaged in business. At times, we go and take a business or a training that you undercut so much in order to get the training that you realize that you get stuck along the way because you couldn't fully, do the training like you ought to. So you need to be extremely careful about that as well, to make sure that you do your costing. and you know your barest minimum. Very important. Know your barest minimum, that we cannot go lower than this. If not, there's no point taking the training, because we will not be able to actually give the best, and you'll not be able to pay your people very well. So that must be clear in the barest minimum, that this is the, we're ready to make 20-30% barest minimum. That's okay. And if you can make more, then you can push for more. But it's better, it's very important for you to know that before you go into any training that you want to go into, so that when you're negotiating, you will know that, okay, if the negotiation goes below this, then it's going to be something we have to say no to, so that we don't do everything. I've seen people take jobs under court, and because they wanted the job, then they cannot finish the job. And there's a trick that they do in my country, Nigeria. They will undercut, take the job. When they've taken the job, they will now come back to you, say, sir, we now find out that, they say we won't be able to do it at this cost. They will now want to come back to renegotiate, because you've given them the contract, to not say, those are the tricks that they use here. And people are being clever now, that when you see somebody who really bring their price so low, you don't even look at them anymore, because you yourself know that the cost of this training should be around this figure, So people are being careful now, So you must also need to build, because the kind of services you are rendering, you really need to be out there to build relationship with organization, with people that matter in key places, in government or wherever you're going, and people you want to work with. You have to go and know the HR, you have to go and know the key people within the place, people who give out the contract, what they have and everything, and build relationship with them, and be able to push your company out. Then I think it's also important for you to also do your marketing, since it sounds as if you're quite good in that area, to do your marketing, not just your leg marketing, but also use the medium of social media to be able to get your services out there for people to know. But when it comes to I asked for the diaspora service because I was quite interested in it. I was thinking, okay, what do you have in mind? But I think with that alone, you might need to sit down and put sticker arrows around that diaspora, services, and what are the services? Look for services that you think are things that you can do to aid or to help somebody who's abroad and who wants to start something here, or they've started something here. Like he said, because of lack of integrity and people running away with people's money, you want to put that integrity in there. And if you could do that and find one person first, and you can do that, trust me, you will make money, because the many people know that, we have found somebody that we can actually trust with our money. People will be free to want to do business with you. But it's good to list out all the key areas that you think, that you want to get involved in. So when people are looking at it, even in diaspora, as you're doing your adverts on social media or wherever, they can know that, okay, I would love to do this. This is one of the things I've been thinking of doing. Okay, maybe I should call this company, and they'll be able to have a chat with them to see, how we can get things up and running. So you need to be very specific to actually sit down, look at all the areas that you think, you want the diaspora services to encompass, then put it in there, let it be, part of the things. As you put diaspora services, A, B, C, D, E, F, the things that we do with regards to these services are, and you make sure everybody can see it. So anybody that have an interest, they are able to contact you. It's very important you do that, because it's very vague now, okay, diaspora services. So that's why I asked, what exactly it is. So you need to really explain that very well. I think I have nothing else to say now, so let me pass it to Mr. T. I hope that's helpful, Mr. Kayode.
Yes, thank you very much. I took a lot of points from this, and thank you. Yes, I really appreciate that, sir.
Mr. Steve? Or Mr. T, over to you.
Minister T, is there something that you'd like to add?
Very, very powerful points have been raised. Mr. Adeji, I think I heard you now say that you've been taking notes. I strongly recommend that you go back and listen to all this. I think maybe the only thing would just be, maybe a lot of what I'll be saying was already covered by the guys, to be honest. So maybe, especially because of that point where you were saying you were a bit content and things like that, and I think you got some good feedback there from Minister Amy. Because the role you're playing, I remember something I wanted to start with. A lot of what you said, and I get it, and also because I've met you, I see you're trying to be out there. There's a lot of general. Even for the training, it's not necessarily honed into specifics. Like, oh, you guys tell us whatever training you want, we'll do it. Diaspora service, tell us whatever you want to do, we'll do it. So it's more, we're available for anything you want to do, but that can also be a danger in itself, because especially when it comes to corporate, specialization is important. That general, they tend to shy away from it, because general literally means they may feel like they're not really sure what you'd necessarily bring to the table. My recommendation is very simple. Because you're trying to outsource and you're the middleman, you need to look at it from two sides: the demand and the supply. The demand is from the corporate people that you want that you want to collect their money and then supply them something. The demand is from the organizations you will go to who need training services. The supply is from your network of people who provide those services. And these two are very different. You being the middle person means you're literally trying to connect both. Now, you need to do it in such a way that the company who is paying you don't feel like, why? I can take out the middleman, is an additional cost for me. I can go direct to the supplier. But maybe the reason why organizations may not necessarily do that, even though any corporation already has some trusted people they are working with, which means that what you're actually selling needs to be clear, needs to be a lot better than what they probably already have. And this is where I'm coming from. And this will put a lot of the feedback you've heard together, so that maybe I'm just trying to put some emphasis on some of the things you've already heard. For instance, for corporate training, the emphasis is not that you're a good trainer. The emphasis is that you become a trusted business solutions provider. Training requirements vary from organization to organization because they are dealing with slightly different things. Even in the same area, right? You'll find out that the nuances are slightly different because the organizations are a bit different. So companies will pay if the training is helping them achieve things like increase revenue, improve maybe staff performance, reduce maybe operational issues that they're having. Maybe it's even that they're trying to meet compliance, right? Maybe it's even employee retention, um, you know, and a couple of other things. So you need to sort of do a bit of research and find out exactly what the clear corporate need is. Okay, this thing can go on for a lot, but I'm trying to really, really summarize here. Maybe we'll take some of these conversations offline. But let me put it this way. On the demand side, I suggest that you go for the SMEs before even the large corporations. I don't know what is in your um, portfolio in terms of how many people you've done this for, but it may be slightly different to go straight to the big corporate. So maybe start from the SMEs, medium sized, and begin to scale, because what's important when you go to the big ones is who have you done this before with. And believe you me, they will know. Um, they will know. So it's important that you try and build portfolio. And in building portfolio, your emphasis will not be in making too much profit. It is to do a quality job that the reference that you can get from there becomes a stepping stone for other, places where you're trying to do this. And then focus on selling business outcomes, not the training hours. It's the business outcomes. Even your slides, they're not, believe you me, it's moved. It's not about the number of slides that you have or how many certifications or how the charisma of your trainer, he has trained in 50 events. Those things don't really, what they're looking for is measurable improvement, right? What they're looking for is growth, measurable. What they're looking for is, in terms of productivity, again, measurable, right? So you don't want to say things like will take you through a 4-day transformational. No, everybody uses these things. So your differentiator and how you go to them needs to take away all of these words that they see on every slide, to maybe things like what helping you reduce maybe some like customer complaints, escalations through very structured service training, things around that. So what I'm trying to say is that on the demand side, that is the corporations you want to pay you money to deliver that service. Your proposal should focus very clearly on what is the current problem. What is the training intervention that will solve this problem? What are the expected outcomes? And how do we measure them? The reason why this is important is, if you even have this measurable, you will reduce where they tell you it didn't meet the criteria. You will know because you agreed these up front. If you don't do it and it's all very generic, then you run into a problem. So on that demand side, don't forget these 4 things. What is the current problem? What is the intervention supposed to solve? Right? What is the expected outcome and how do we measure this? Anything you can't measure, then you cannot give feedback on. Or the feedback will always be relative. Oh, it was a nice training. That's not what you need. Because this is not, again, because you mentioned corporate. So these are the kind of things you want to sort of wrap your mind around. Minister Lexi talked about, your corporate brand, your strong profile. That's important. Your profile is not that you have a 50-page website. It must be clear. It may go through several iterations. The easiest way to achieve this is think big. Remove that content, whatever. I'm not saying you should be greedy, but I'm saying that there has to be a kind of mindset. The people, what you're trying to do now is already being done. Look at the 3 companies or the 3 organizations who are doing what you're doing and doing it to an exceptional high quality level. Use them as your baseline for bringing up your own brand. Website for website, will yours stand a difference? These are the people your proposals will be competing with. Maybe give you an example, and I'm taking a wild guess or a wild name, just picking a name from the hat that came to my mind. Maybe it's Bain and Co. If you put Rash Global beside that, because the people eventually you want to be going, if you put your proposal beside them, will they actually flip it open to the next page? Will they actually open the website and navigate through to even understand what you're trying to do? And believe you me, your profile will go before you walk into the door. You is the separate conversation completely, because you can't go there and be telling them, I like you. You're a honest kind of guy. You're talking straight from the heart and things like that. But I'll give you very good feedback on that. Sometimes the way we position the thoughts in our head, not even sometimes, most times in the conversations that matter where you're presenting yourself, it needs to be structured in a certain way in order for you're going to be sitting with people who only have 5 minutes to spare, 2 minutes to spare. They ask you one question. It's not even tell us about yourself. It's tell us why we should give it to you. So this is why that whole communication iteration, to be able to refine, keep refining. You have, if they want you to give 10 slides, you have it handy. If it's a 1 slider to summarize everything, you have it ready. If it's to deliver your selling point in 2 minutes, you need to have all of that handy, because your audience will be varied. I've spoken a little bit about the demand side. I'm just going to summarize now because I feel like I'm running out of time. And frankly, I want to cover the other side too. The supply side is, who are the people who will provide this service, since you're not the one providing it directly? Who are the reputable people that you can get into business with? who will do it the ethical way, who will not cut corners? Who are the people who will go there and do the job to the quality you want? Because when they step into that room that you have opened, when they step into that organization's office that you have opened the door, it will be Resh Global's brand, not them. If it is them, guess what? They won't call you next time because they'll see you as an extra layer of cost. So anytime those people come, it'll be to deliver the training by Resh Global. So you need to look for people who will go there and not mess up your name. It means that when it comes to that supply side, beyond contracts, you need to do some form of onboarding. You need to tell them how you behave at Resh Global. You need to tell them the key things, your brand, the things you're trying to uphold. They need to understand that they need to maintain a particular, you need to elevate what Resh Global even higher than what they're used to. Yes, they have the skill, but it's a different ball game now. On the supply side, the contracts will factor in things to protect you, to indemnify you for where they don't meet the KPIs that I was talking about on the demand side, so that if you need to redo that training, you will not necessarily need to pay out of pocket because it's a contract that was signed. So all of this require a bit of thought process. Being the middleman is fine. Like Minister Yemi said, you're lowering your cost in entering this kind of market. But it's not just about cost, right? Because a lot of these things, you build it into the contracts. But the point, what you're trying to do is build your clientele, build the portfolio, build the brand. So that when they hear Resh Global, it doesn't matter if you came in IODG with 10 people, those 10 people are on your payroll for that training. And by the time you're giving them what they're going to train about, is because you've done your research to identify what specific thing they need to be trained on. Finally, your network matters. Your network matters. In some of the places where you're going to be handing in proposals, you need to be able to refine what the actual problem is. It never comes out in the first conversation. It never comes out in just the proposals. You need to be able to read between the lines and understand what your questions need to provoke or tease out the actual issues so that you can build tailored trainings that will bring out KPIs that can actually move them based on the intervention you're offering. So you need to look at yourself as a solutions provider. You may not be the one who would deliver the cybersecurity training, but you must have been able to elicit what the actual stuff is. Work with the supply partners to tailor that training for that company. So cybersecurity training A for company A is different from company B because their underlying issues may look similar, but the nuances are slightly different, which may require them to tweak something different from the last material you used. It's a lot of work, but I'm just trying to open your mind up to, it's not just, oh, go and collect. Those days are gone. You're also competing with ChatGPT and co and co and co. So you can't just come and just, copy and paste stuff and then, no, because they will. So I'm just trying to help you understand that there is a level at which you must be trying to do this. And this is not to dissuade you, it's so that you understand what it is and you begin to knuckle down. The good thing is that the tools are there, but do you see yourself that way first as a solutions provider, not just as a middleman who is oh, you want training? Ah, yes, I have trainer. What are they being trained about? Guess what? You will sit in some of those rooms, and each of those sessions will also help you understand the business better. Your conversations will change. Industry wide, it will help because what you're doing is consulting. It exposes you to different fields, different problems, and each of those sessions make you different. It makes you sharper. So you overall as a person, it even makes you more confident. It's a good thing to want to do, but I'm just trying to open your mind to the possibilities so you know where to start the work from. In summary, and I promise in summary now, look at it from the demand side, the people who want the intervention. Look at it from the supply side. You're in the middle and begin to flesh out what you need to do for those sides and begin to use that to work on. You in the middle is also important because you're the brand. The organization can quickly see you as disposable if you don't do the right positioning or posturing of what it is that you're actually doing. I didn't think I was actually going to talk for this long, but I think that's most of what I had on my mind. Minister Stephen, thank you. So I'm going to hand it back to you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Minister Tosin. That was very, very profound. I believe, and also thank you so much, Minister Emi. I believe each and every person, each and every panelist has really, expounded on this subject. And I believe, sir, you've been able to really jot down a lot of notes pertaining to the advice that you've received today. And I feel like this advice, I feel it will be able to give you a firm foundation, because when I look at what Minister Yemi has said, Minister Emi, Minister Tosin, Minister Alexi, and also Minister Emi, what they have literally said, I'll just summarize it in 6. They have spoken about systems, structure, studies, strategy, specifics, and solutions. And what that means is that you have to go back to the beginning to be able to now package it in a way that it really speaks about the company and what the company stands for. What are the solutions? What is it solving? So I feel like that brand positioning is going to be very, very pivotal for you. And what I like about the name that you have used, Resh, because Resh means, I had to do a background check to just understand what Resh means. And Resh means the mind. Resh means wisdom. Resh means leadership. Resh means communication. So Resh it's calling out to have that communication whereby it's able to bring a level of competence to that particular market. There's something that you have that has to be fine-tuned. And I'll just be able to say this. When you look at scripture, the Bible says, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that a herald may run with it. What I like about that scripture is that it talks about the is a definite article. Write down the vision. The vision has to be specific. It has to be very fine-tuned in a way that someone will be able to understand in a snap. Remember, the concentration span of a human being right now, based on the research that they had done, they're saying the concentration span is like 8 seconds. So you have to ensure that whatever you have to give the information that has to be relayed, it has to grasp them within that time. It has changed from 2000, because in the year 2000 it was 20 seconds, then went down to 10. I think in 2015, 2016, around that time. And right now it's like literally 8 seconds, because every person now, individuals are literally, it's an information era. So individuals are basically, just getting information, being consumed by information. There are brands talking. There's so many posters and all these things. So it has to really, it has to be really, really definite. When God speaks about, like plans, he normally uses that article. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper and not to harm, plans to give you hope and a future. So you see, like, God has specifics. Even when he was creating the universe, it was so specific. Day 1, it was the light. Day 2, it was the sky. So it was very, very specific. So you wouldn't want to have a melange of, like different products and services. So you have to go back to the beginning to really understand, why does my business exist? Because if you do not define the business, then the business will literally end up just trying to figure out what it is. And then it will also now begin to, confuse even the audience that you're intending to target. So I feel like that's very, that's something that, I just wanted to share when it comes to now that brand positioning, that will be very, very important. And then something else, you've also spoken about the mentor. You also have to understand that to what I'm saying is that you as a mentor, you as the founder, it seems like you have quite a lot of ideas. And what I would recommend, look for a mentor who would be able to be that mentor who will give you a logical point of view. And I'll say this, I have, for me, I'm that type of a person. I tend to really be on the run of creativity. I would be having like 10, 20 things at the same time. And until I started now engaging with a logical person, someone who will just be able to tell me, okay, you need to now structure this one first, and then this one will come there. It will come later. That really helps you to really be able to now have that level of focus, to be able to now even fine tune and have a niche, to understand that this is what I'm focusing for now. These others can come later, but this will be the strategy. So it's important for you when you're seeking that mentor, it's important to understand yourself, because for me, being like, I gave my example, for me being a creative, I wouldn't look for someone who is also a creative, because I would understand we'll at some point will end up not being in the same page. But if you have a realist who will be able to guide you and tell you, now this is the structure, this is what you need to do, that would really, really help when you're looking for a mentor. I can tell when it looks, I feel like you also have to reconsider the name of the business, Resh Solution Global Services, because from the outlook, one, I think, remember when I was trying to say Resh Solutions, I think there was a tongue twister there. So that literally tells you that if I have a problem in talking, in pronunciating your name, then that means that also another consumer will be able to have. So I feel like this would be a guideline. So probably you'd have to now begin to just, I'm not saying remove the Resh, but I feel like you'd be able to either try to figure whether you'd want to call it Resh Global Services or Resh Advisory, Resh Consulting or something. And then I think there's also a struggle in regard to that particular name, Resh Solution, because in other narratives, you're saying Resh Solutions with an S, and then in the page, it's just Resh Solution. So now that also begins to create a confusion, and that also will begin to come out, especially when you are relaying what Resh Solutions is, Resh Global is solving. So that's also part of the branding. So that is also very, very important for you to be able to look at. I just want to send you this. I looked at this example. I love how TED, if you know TEDx, they tend to be, it's a platform that empowers communities and individuals. But whenever you look at the description of TEDx, the vision and the mission is very, very straightforward. It's normally summarized in a way that you understand exactly what they normally do. So I just want to share that with you so that you're able to also have this guideline. I'll just share it on the text message. Let me just share it right now. I think we're running out of time, and my sincere apologies for the person that we were meant to for Brainbox. We were to also do your review, but I think we'll be able to also prioritize you for the next business review. So my sincere apologies in that regard. So I've already shared it with you, sir. You are able to just look at it. Yeah, you can now see even from a highlight of what TEDx normally does. It's so straightforward. So you know exactly what they what they normally do, and also from their what is it called? From their their logo, you're able to just get that logo, get that tagline, whereby it's very, very instant that you know exactly what they normally do. So I feel like that's what I can just say. In a summary, I'll just say it again. What all the panelists have spoken about, it's on systems, structure, studies, strategy, specifics, and also solutions. So I feel like that would be quite an assignment for you now to be able to go back to the drawing board to see how you're able to package it in a way that now research and also package it in a way that even your target audience will be able to understand the business that you're doing. That's all I can say at the moment. Thank you so much, everyone. For joining. I believe that even the information that has been relayed, I want you guys to just give a round of applause to all the panelists. All the panelists, they've done such an amazing job. They have really given out so much insights, not just for the founder of Resh Global, but also for each and every one of us. I love this platform because we learn for each, we learn we learn from each other. So thank you so much, Minister Emmy. Thank you so much, Minister Yemi. Thank you so much, Minister Tosin. Thank you so much, Minister Alexi. thank you so much. Minister Lexi, Minister Yemi, Minister Emmy, Minister Tosin. Yes, Minister Alexi, sorry, I'm trying to get the names. I hope I've said all the names. I believe I've said all the names. Yes, and also for Minister Titi as well. She has also given a recommendation of a book. I presume that you've seen it, sir. Startup to Fortune. Now, these are also books that I'm going to get, even from Minister Alexi as well. The one that he has also recommended, Rockefeller's 38 Letters to His Son. So thank you so much. Oh my, thank you so much, Minister Emmy. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Okay, I'll hand this over to Minister Joy, Sister Joy. You can just proceed if there are any announcements. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minister Stephen. Please, I'm going to stick with Sister Joy for now.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been such a wonderful time to be. Our apologies to our second, Mr. Amy. I see. I am not on Sitma. Okay. Just a few announcements before we go. This week, our outreach team in Lagos will be visiting a child care home in Mudupe Child Care Treatment and Homeschool in Akota in Lagos, Nigeria. So if you're a tribe member in Lagos and you would like to be a part of this outreach program, please reach out to me, myself, or Madam Mercy. Our contacts are on the flyer and they're displaying currently, and it's also going to be posted. Anyway, it has been posted on the WhatsApp channel, but to be posted again to help you see it instead of scrolling. So if you would like to be part of this in any way, in donating items, in volunteering to go with the team, we'll be very, very happy and grateful to have you join us. So kindly reach out and we will give you more information from then. But it's happening this Saturday, so you might want to reach out to us sooner rather than later. And also on Thursday, we are back for our 10-hour prayer marathon. It's going to be an amazing time in God's presence, as it always has been. So make our time to join us on Thursday, and we shall have a great time in God's presence. Thank you all so much for joining, and see you same time next week. Over to you, Mr. Stephen.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. Let's pray. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we thank you for this precious, wonderful day that you've granted us. Thank you, Father, for this session. Thank you, Father, for your word. Thank you, Father, for mighty Redeemer, Father, for the insights that you've set for us. So, mighty Redeemer, Father, I decree and I declare, mighty Redeemer, God, even for Minister Yodeji, oh mighty Redeemer, Father, even for the insights that he has received, I decree and declare that, Father, you shall guide him in the name of Jesus, because your word says that you shall instruct him and teach him and even counsel him in the way that he should go. So, Father, I just pray that you shall guide him, Almighty Redeemer God, even as he ventures in this realm, in the area of business. Father, I also thank you, Almighty Redeemer God, for the panelists. I thank you, Almighty Redeemer Father, even for the members as well. I decree and declare that you shall bless each and every person, even as we are, just concluding the day in the name of Jesus Christ. We thank you, Almighty Father. May you protect us and may you cover us by the blood of Christ Jesus. We thank you, Almighty Redeemer Father. It's for in Jesus' name we do pray and believe. Amen. 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 Thank you so much, everyone. Have a blessed day, evening.